Hello friends, welcome to another tutorial of Power BI. In this tutorial, we are discussing about connecting multiple tables in Power BI. So how to connect multiple tables in Power BI? Suppose we have a data set where there are more than one table, and when you will connect all of them together, because those tables are related, when you will connect all of them together, then only your analysis can be done. So now let's see a data set. We have a data set called Northwind Superstore data set. In this particular data set, you can see we have these tables. So we have categories, consumers, employee, employee territory, order details, orders, products, regions, and so on. This data set is of a trading company. That company trades following products. Here you can see list of products. So if you are familiar with SQL or SQL Server, you might already know about this database. What we have done is we have just taken all the tables separately in CSV file here in order to demonstrate how to join all of them together, how to connect all of them together in Power BI and then analyze some data. Now we have product. For every product we have supplier ID and category ID. This is going to be a long video, so just watch it carefully, try to understand what we are doing, and then with the help of this tutorial, at the end of this tutorial, it will be very clear how to join multiple tables in Power BI. It will be clear to you. Now, in this table you have supplier ID and category ID, and if we see this folder, then we can see there are suppliers. So every supplier has a unique supplier ID, which you can see here, right? And this supplier ID is kind of related with this supplier ID. So these two tables are related with supplier ID. Same, we have category ID in this table, and we have a categories table. So in categories table, every category of product has a particular category name. Okay, so for every category name there is a unique category ID, and that is what we have here. So products table is kind of one of our most important table in this data set, and then every product is being ordered. So when someone orders those products, so we have order ID, you can see here we have order ID, customer ID, employee ID, employee who receives that order, and order date, ship date, required date, and so on. So, and then what are the details, what particular products are ordered in this table, that data is given in order details. So when you will open order details, so yes, I know there are a lot of tables and this might be an overwhelming thing, but if you will watch closely you will understand. So here we have a simple diagram. This is the ER diagram of this particular database, which will help you in understanding how different tables are related with each other. I will provide link of this ER diagram, I will provide link of this data set, everything along with this video, so that you can obviously download the source files and then you can follow the same procedure and do it with us. So here you can see order details is connected with orders, and order details is connected with products, which we can see here. So if you will go to our table and see order details, so in order details we have product ID, and this product ID is a foreign key here, and even the order ID here is also a foreign key. So order ID is the order ID of orders table, and product ID is the product ID, the unique and the primary key of products table. So every product has a unique ID. Here you can see every product has a unique ID. All product have their individual IDs. So now with this information and with a diagram that we have, we will try to establish some relationship here with Power BI. In our Power BI, what we can do is, first of all, we have to load the data set. So first, because all those files are in CSV, I am importing data from text or CSV file. If that data is in any other format, you can select that. Continue here, let's select the CSV file, and now I will go to my Northwind dataset folder. The first table that I will load is order details, and this I am doing because when I saw this ER diagram here, so in our ER diagram, this order details table is kind of in the center, but actually you can one by one you can select all of them. So from top to bottom you can select all of them. Obviously selecting multiple will not work here, but you can select all of them. Let's load this. So I have decided to actually go with the order in which these tables are listed. So you can now see one table is now loaded. Similarly, I will do it for other tables. So it was a boring task, repetitive task, but that's why I forwarded the video. Now here you can see all our tables are now listed. Now in Power BI, the first thing that we are going to do is we will save this in our system so that our work is not lost. So I will name it as Northwind CSV analysis. Because I have this Northwind database in many formats. I have it in PostgreSQL, I have it in MySQL. So when I teach students, this is a very I will say this is a good data set that helps you in understanding, first of all, how tables are related in a database, and it also helps you in understanding various other things. So why not use something that you are already familiar with? Now we have selected and connected. Now you can see all these tables are listed here, and you can analyze them separately, right? All these tables are individual and you can analyze them separately. Now here you can see this is a report view. Okay, so we will try to understand these different views in Power BI. This is a report view and this is a table view. Okay, table view. In table view you can select various tables one by one, and you can do different type of data processing here. You can do some data cleaning and things, and you can also verify whether your data has been correctly loaded or not. Okay, So for example, when I'm seeing this orders table, it is not looking good to me, right? Products is looking good, regions is looking good, shippers, suppliers is also in perfect table format. So all other tables are connected properly, but orders table somehow is not appearing as it should. So I will try a workaround. I will open this CSV file in Excel, and then I will click on save as. Obviously I'm going to save it in the same folder, so just give me a minute. So first of all, I will open the orders table and I will save as in the same folder, and let's say I am saving it as orders clean, and this time I will try it with CSV UTF-8 comma delimited format. So CSV is comma separated file. These files have comma delimited values, and I will save it in the UTF-8 format. Okay, and I will click it, and in order to show you these files, I can also show you, we can open in Notepad to see how these files are appearing. You can see that's why it is called a comma delimited value, and that's why maybe we have this problem here. So if you have this kind of problem here, what you can do is you can try saving it in UTF-8 format. And now what we will do, we will again go to our reports view, click on get data, click on text CSV, and let's try to, actually I selected the wrong table, and let's select the orders. So I will select the orders clean table. It was saved in some other folder. Now you can see it is appearing properly. All the columns are appearing properly. Okay, so you have to make sure while loading your data, again, cleaning data is something that requires a lot of steps. It has a lot of methods and all, but this is one way when you are working with CSV files. Now since we have clean orders table, what we can do is we can remove our this particular table. So we will go to table view, or you can delete from model directly. So when you have to delete any table, you can delete from model. Now we have all of this. Okay, now we can go to the table view once again, and one by one you will see all our tables are now listed properly. They should be appearing as a table, otherwise your analysis might not work properly. Now if you already have a clean data, you don't have to worry about these things. So we discussed report view, we discussed table view, now we will discuss model view. So this is our model view, and in actual you will see, let me collapse all of this. So you will see the ER diagram that we were just seeing here on Wikimedia website. Now we have some ER diagram kind of structure of our own. Okay, so we have a categories table, which we have then customers table, we have employees table, okay, we have employee territories, and you can see. So with the help of different IDs, it has created relationships, because in various tables we have these columns, right? So we have order ID, we have some extra columns here which we will remove later, but right now you can see. Okay, so it has already based on their names. This is done based on their names. So for example, supplier ID is named as this, like supplier ID is named like this here. Okay, you can see supplier and then ID is in capital, and the table with which supplier ID is linked is this. So this is supplier ID. Okay, if somehow you can see that some particular tables are not listed properly, so obviously you have to do a lot of research here. You have to arrange and you have to bring them together. So we can also zoom in and zoom out, okay, so that we can bring them all together. So first of all, I will put order details in the middle, then products on one side, okay, and then orders on other side. So in our case, we already have orders clean. So that's why naming of your columns is very important in your data sets, because you don't have to do a lot of unnecessary work. So now we have order details in middle, you can see, then products and order clean. Okay, let's try to make it like this. So we have product in one side, orders on other side. With orders, you can see customers, employee and shippers are connected. Okay, so with orders, customers, employee and shippers are connected. So in our case, employees are perfectly connected with orders, okay, but shippers are not connected. Okay, so and with products, you can see categories is connected, suppliers is connected, okay, but others are not connected. With employees, again, these are some extra tables, like what are the territory of employees. So with it is connected with employees, and then those territories are connected with employee territories, okay, and then regions are connected. So this way you can see we have a particular diagram here, and shippers somehow is not connected. Okay, this is interesting thing for us. Shippers and customers are not connected. So we have something here that is causing them not to connect directly, right? So let's inspect. Here you can see in shippers we have shipper ID, okay, and in order details, so shipper should be connected with orders clean or orders in our case. Okay, so if you will see the diagram with orders, shipper ID and shipper ID are actually those columns with which it should connect. You can see here, right, orders and shippers, but this is not happening. So here we have shipper ID and orders clean. Let's drag down, so let's scroll. Here you will see the column name is actually ship via. Okay, so let's go to table view again to explain this. In our orders table, okay, you have order ID, customer ID, everything you have is proper, but here the shippers are referred as ship via. So the column name in both tables is different. Okay, that's why this connection cannot be established. So if you have different column names, Power BI will not be able to identify which particular table is it to connect with this particular column. Now what we can do is we can click on this, okay, and here you can see different options. You can create a new measure, new column, refresh data. You can also see an option to manage relationships. Okay, so this is what we are going to do, manage relationships. And here you can see these are the relationships, okay, the already established relationships, like employee territory is related with employee table. So employee ID in the employee territory table is related to employee ID in the employees table. As simple as that. Same with the territories, same in the order details. In order clean also, the employee who received that order is also connected, right? But we are going to create a new relation here. So if that relation is not existing, you can create a new relation. Then you have to select those tables which you want to relate. So we want to relate orders clean, and the second table we want to relate is shippers. Okay, in order clean we select that column, so that is ship via, and then select with which column is this column related in the second table. So now we have selected two columns, right? And this is a many to one relation because this shipper will order many products in the order details table, and its detail is only one in the shippers table. Okay, so that's why it is many to one relationship, and we will make this relationship active and click OK. Now you have another relationship here. You can now close. Now you will see another relational line here.
Hello everyone,
So this particular
welcome
line
to another
is now
tutorial video
representing
of
that these two
SlideScope.
tables are now related.
In this
So
video,
now
we are
our
learning about
ER
building
diagram
a
kind of looks like what we already saw earlier, right? Here. But there is some problem with the customers table that is preventing it from connecting with orders table. Okay, and the problem seems to be like the column names are column 1 2 3, so we have some different column names. Let's investigate. Okay, as I said, this is going to be a practical video. It is not something I can do it very quickly, but I have to explain it to beginners also. So when I go to this particular table, customers table, we saw that all the columns are appearing good, yes, but their names are not appearing properly. You can see, right? Their names are not appearing properly. So now what we will do here is, first of all, we will remove it from the model or delete it from the model, because this, or we can delete the first row also, but there is a simple way of doing it. And we will also go to the customers table. So let's go to our data set, the customers table, because customers are very important for business. Here you can see in Excel there is no problem. Okay, and that's why I'm telling you these type of things happen with us various times, and we are giving you a simple hint. If it is a CSV file, then save it as in, again, the same folder. It's a customers file, so I will save it as CSV UTF-8 format. Sometimes it is a problem with the encoding, that's why these kind of things happen. So I will save it. It says it already exists. Do you want to replace it? I'll say yes, and now let's try to load it. Get data, text, customers, and somehow it is happening again. Okay, so if even after doing everything it is still happening with you, okay, then we have another workaround here, and the whole purpose of this particular video is to explain you different ways of doing things. Okay, so in that case, go to transform data. Okay, so we have a load table, we also have a transform table. So here we have loaded here. Click on this. Okay, and here you will find use first row as headers. Okay, because sometimes it happens with tables, Power BI is somehow not able to recognize that the first row is actually the headers. Let's do this. Okay, now you can see customer ID, company name, everything. Okay, and this particular thing will help you if you are facing this kind of difficulty. If you are not facing any such difficulty, that is good. So now what is next after this? After cleaning it, just close and apply. Okay, close and apply. So now it is loading. Now when you will go to customers, you will not see that error, right, in your header. And now when you will go to the relationship view, here you can see that. So we have to connect it with orders clean. You can see. So with orders clean, you can see that customer ID is still not connected. Okay, so all other tables are connected properly, but the customer ID is not connected. So customer is still here. Okay, so it is connected with, yeah, it is actually connected, sorry. So it was actually appearing at a different place. So actually we can see with our orders clean, we now have 3 tables connected, and this is how you can simply understand how relationship or how to connect different tables or how to connect multiple tables in Power BI. Okay, and then obviously you can do. Hello friends, welcome to another tutorial of Power BI. In this, okay, I'm just doing this basic analysis. So customer name wise count of orders. Now you understand that customer name is actually available in this particular table. So always go to the table view to understand. So customer name is present in this table. This is customer's contact name. Okay, so this is the contact name of this customer. Good. Now what is the count of orders? Count of orders is actually in the order details table, but in this order details table we don't have customer ID, right? So customer ID is actually available in the orders table. Okay, so here you have the customer ID, and that's why these joins are very important. These relationships are very important in SQL, in Power BI, right? So in this case, since these two tables are related, what we can do is we can select them separately. So what we can do here is we will select customer name from one table. So just click on it and you will see those names. Okay, all those unique names, and then we will go to the orders table, and from orders table we will select order ID, because every order has a unique ID here, right? Let's go to the table again. So here every order is a unique value. Okay, so every order is a unique ID, and how many products in that order are actually placed, how many products are there, so that you can find in the order details table. Like for example, in order number 10 to 51 only one product is ordered, but in order number 10 to 61 two products are ordered. Okay, similarly there might be orders where more than 5 or 6 products might be ordered. So there are a lot of questions that can be solved here. You can do a lot of exploratory data analysis, but for now if you have to count something like this, just select the order ID. Okay, so yes, we have selected the order ID, that is good, but it is now showing that whenever this particular customer ordered a particular thing, it is appearing like Alejandra Camino has ordered these many products, and same with Anna Tujilo and so on. So but we want to show count of orders. So here just click here. Okay, initially it says don't summarize. Okay, but we will apply count of orders. Okay, And when you will apply count of orders, not count distinct but count of orders, remember count distinct if we will do, so you will see it is showing the same data here. So but we have to select count, okay? And count distinct is basically for counting unique values in a particular column. So we will not do that. We know one particular customer can order multiple times. So here you have. Now let's find out which particular customer has ordered most number of times. Okay, so yeah, you can right click here and you can click to order this, right? So you can click to sort this, and this particular customer called Jose Parvati, or however it is pronounced, this particular customer has ordered 31 times. Then there is Roland Mendel and so on. So this is one such example. Similarly, we have country information here also, okay? So let's find out total when an order is placed, okay? In order details table, you can see when an order is placed, we have a unit price, okay? This unit price simply represents what is the price of that particular product, okay? So for example, here in order details table, we have product ID number 33, okay, and its unit price is 2 and the quantity ordered is 20, remember. Now let's go to the products table and find out what is the unit, or let's go to product ID number 33, sorry, and let's find out what is its unit price. So when you will go to products table, you will see that product with ID number 33, which is Jai Toast, or however it is pronounced, it has a unit price of 2.5, okay? So this means there was some discount also, okay? So that's why this order details table is very important to understand what was the actual product, what was the product amount after the discount, because this product might have some discount, okay? So we can see, is it discounted? Obviously they are mentioning it is not discounted, but we can see that this product has been sold at a discounted rate, okay? So, and obviously this data is downloaded from GitHub. There might be some problems, but you have to understand this. So in these cases, what you have to do, let's go to order details table once again. So if one unit price is I think it is now rearranged in some manner. Yeah. So if one unit price is 16 and the total quantity is 20, okay. Obviously they have not written discount here, but this may be something. So in that case, what we have to do, we actually have to multiply the total quantity by one unit price, okay. Then we will be able to find out what was the total price that was paid in this particular, in ordering of this particular product, okay, in this particular order ID. So for that, what we can do here, we can create another column here. So we have to create a calculated column, and that's where you actually create calculated columns. This is a practical way of understanding when do you need such practical columns. Let's say the price that is listed here is actually the unit price, that means price of one unit of this product, and this particular person has ordered 20 such units. So they have set the quantity 20 everywhere, which I doubt is the correct data, but let's say if it is the case, okay. So when actually I sorted ascending and descending, so in those particular cases it was actually sorted on the basis of quantity. That's why it was appearing like that. So now let's create that calculated column, okay. And here you can see actually, right, here you can see in this order, which is product 33, it has already given some discount, okay. So and total of 25 products are ordered. So now let's see what is the total unit price then. So in this case we will create another column which will be the multiplication of these two columns, okay. So right click on that particular table where you want a new column. Again, there are several ways of doing this. You can also go to this relational view and you can, you know, click these three dots here, and from here also you can create new column or new measure. But here it is obviously very interesting to create it from here as well. So let's create a new column, and this column will appear here, right? So let's name this column as sales. I'm just calling it sales, okay. This is my column, which is sales. How much or what was the sales amount. We can also name anything. And now from this table itself, so this way you can get table, and this way you can actually select a value. So let's select unit price and then use an operator called star. This star operator is used to multiply values, and unit price into quantity, or unit price multiplied by total orders quantity is going to be the sales. And let's see, and here you can see. So this is very easy calculation. 9.8 is the price, 10 is the quantity, 0 is the discount. Obviously you can take discount into consideration also. You can, if there is a discount, you can always multiply it with, but let's say this is the total sales, we are going with it. So now it depends upon what business logic you have to put. This is just a simple demonstration that how and where in particularly where you have to create a calculated column, because this calculated column will, you know, it is a new column that is created, and it will be for every row of this table, okay. But on the other hand, a measure is something that is a summary. Now how to create a measure? So measure will be what is total sales, okay. So let's go back to our view and let's find out, let's create a measure here. So we'll go to the modeling tab, and as we have to create a measure for order details, we can click here as well. And now this measure will actually find out total sales, okay, which will be the sum of all of that. So we will call it total sales. That's why I called it sales, okay. I call this column as sales and the measure as total sales. So now it will be very interesting to and it will be very easy to understand, and it will be nothing but sum of all the sales values, okay. So here if you simply sum all of it, right, if you simply sum all of that data, first let's commit this. So this is sales and this is actually total sales, okay, which is sum of order details all sales. So this way within that table a column is selected, because we already know that this unit price is actually such a column that is present in multiple tables. It is also present in the products table. So that's how you will define it, okay. Now we have found this thing, And now let's go to the view again and let's try to find out country wise total sales. Okay, we will find out country wise total sales, and for that we will first select this field map. Okay, selecting a field map is very important. Again, if somehow you are not able to see the maps, then obviously it is in your settings. So you can go to options and settings, and then it's in the security settings. So in the security settings, make sure that use map and field map visuals are checked. So obviously I did not drag anything, otherwise I would have got some kind of warning there. Now this map is there. When you select any visual here, you will see different fields, right? You can see various parameters here that can be applied to this particular map. So what is the location? So from where will the location come? Obviously the order will be placed by a customer, right? So we will select country from here and we can drag it in the location part. So now we have all the countries, okay, and now we have legend, longitude, tooltips and things like that. So let's, in legend we will select some data field here, and that data field is actually in our order table, which is the total sales. That is the measure. Now this measure, as you can see, it is already showing some data like from wherever orders have been made. So it is actually showing that data, and yeah, now this total sales, I will drag it in legend. So here you can see, because now we have selected customers and customers are from different countries. Whenever we are trying to drag this measure, so you can see it is nothing is happening here, even though if we are selecting it, nothing is happening here, because this is total sales. Okay, where can we use this total sales data? So we can use this total sales data. Let's say we have a card, okay, and in the card we want to show total sales. So then you can drag this, right, and it is our total sales 1.35 million. Okay, but in this case the column that we created, when you will drag this, see, when you will drag the column, then it will show you. Okay, so let me select the map first, and then in the legend, I think there is a card here somewhere. So in the legend we will drag this, okay, and now you will see this data. We can see that we have North America, Canada, and we have Sweden, Finland, and different countries here, and we also have a legend. Let's cross this. Yeah, so this is these colors represent some sale amounts, so you can drag it, right? You can also drag, so you can also drag other columns in filters. For example, let's say the contact title, let's say the total number of sales made for managers. So we can drag it in filter, and let's say we want to see only accounting manager, then you will see this data, right? So this way filters can be brought into action. Hello friends, welcome to another tutorial of Power BI. In this tutorial we are discussing about connecting multiple tables in Power BI. So how to connect multiple tables in Power BI? Suppose we have a data set where there are more than one table and when you will connect all of them together, because those tables are related, when you will connect all of them together, then only your analysis can be done. So now let's see a data set. We have a data set called Northwind Superstore data set. In this particular data set, you can see we have these tables. So we have categories, consumers, employee, employee territory, order details, orders, products, regions, and so on. This data set is of a trading company. That company trades following products. Here you can see list of products. So if you are familiar with SQL or SQL Server, you might already know about this database. What we have done is we have just taken all the tables separately in CSV file here in order to demonstrate how to join all of them together, how to connect all of them together in Power BI and then analyze some data. Now we have product. For every product we have supplier ID and category ID. This is going to be a long video, so just watch it carefully, try to understand what we are doing, and then.
Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial video of SlideScope. In this video we are learning about building a simple human resources analytics dashboard. We have prepared a sample dashboard here, and in order to prepare this dashboard, the data file that we are using is this particular file, which is HR Analytics data. We found this data set with a reference to another YouTube channel. So first we will discuss some basics about this data set. This data set is about employees. So here every row represents an employee. These are properties of an employee. Every row here has age, attrition, business travel frequency, daily rate, department in which the employee works, distance of office from the home of employee, education level here, educational field, employee count. So employee count is 1 everywhere. So this particular, if we can simply sum this, that means 1470. So if you will calculate a column with sum of employee count, or if you just use employee count and use the sum aggregate function, you will get total number of employees. Here we have employee number, so a unique ID is associated with every employee, but I can see some IDs missing here, so that's why we will not use this, but we can use employee count here. Then we have environmental satisfaction for the employee, gender of the employee, hourly rate. So we have a daily rate and hourly rate. We have job involvement. We have job level, job role. This is another important column, like we have sales executive, research scientist, lab technicians. We have these categorical columns, job satisfaction level. We have marital status, some of them are married, some of them are single. So for such kind of data we can use pie charts or a donut chart. We have monthly income, so we have daily income, hourly income and monthly income. We have monthly rate. We also have number of companies in which the employee has worked, whether the employee is over 18 or not. So Y means yes and N means no. So as you can see, in our case we have Y everywhere, whether the employee does overtime or not, percentage in salary hike, performance rating, relationship satisfaction, standard hours, stock option level. We have total working years. This is total working years of experience, training time last year, then work life balance. So some score is given to work life balance, years at company. So this is total working years and this is years at company. Then we have years in current role. So again, as you can see here, all of this data cannot be analyzed within one dashboard. So that's why, just for the sake of starting this analysis or exploring this data set, we have created a dashboard here. So I will explain it to you one by one what these different cards and visuals are. Also, what we have done is, using Canva, we have created some icons here. So for example, for male we have used this icon, for female this icon, for distance from office we are using this option. Obviously it's a distance between continents, but yes, we are using. For all employees we are using this option and this icon here in our dashboard. You can use different set of icons. You can download it from Canva or Icon Finder. There are different sites. So whatever icons that you see here are all images. I have also created this image where I am using this magnifying lens, and we have written HR analytics dashboard here. So this is image. So first I will start from blank so that you can also understand how everything is created. So first thing that we did is we create some shapes. So first I am using a circle shape here, and I can resize it as per my requirement. So make it into perfect circle. We can go to general and properties and make sure the height and the width are same. So we will use 150 height and 150 width here. You can choose as per your choice. Again, the color, you can go to style and you can change its color. You can, again, you can either choose this palette or whatever palette you want. So I can choose this palette here, or let's try something different from blue. Let's try this. Just for this uh, tutorial purpose, we will choose this color. Then I have selected one image over it, so I will go to HR icons and look for an image. So here I will use this image, and this is a transparent image which I created with the help of Canva. And now first of all, let's change that. I'm actually not liking it. Okay, I will go with this color. So because my image is has a darker shade of color, so that's why I am choosing a lighter font here. Now after doing this, we will create another shape here. This will be a rectangular shape, and the height of this rectangular shape will be just equal to this. So for that we can go to properties. You can choose 150 height here. The width, what I have selected in this case is 226 and 121. Okay, so I will choose a width of 220 in this case. I have done it because I want to show the icon on one side and the value on other side. So now I will bring an image over here, and that's how I can put an image over here. And that's why I have increased the width here so that I can put some value over here. Now I will choose its background. Again, these things are something that take time. So in this shape, actually we will find this option in style. We'll choose the same color. And now let's come to the important part. So here you can see we are displaying male as 882 and female as 588. Let's go to the data, and here you can see gender. So we have gender female, male. So in gender we have these two values. So what we have to do is we have to show a number here, like what is the total count of male. So to do this we will use filters, visual filter, and we will use the column here, gender column. So first of all, what we will do is, for displaying information like this, I always prefer selecting a card, and in this card you can see add field here. What field do you want to choose? So the field that I want to choose here is gender, and then I will choose count of gender. So first of all, what I have to do is I have to select this card, and we will select gender because we want to find it for male and female. So here when you will drag gender here, you will see that this card will display female or male in alphabetical order. So from here you can change it to count of. So now it is showing total 1470, which is this number 1471. One is for the header. So now we have to filter it so that we can see only male number here, number of male employees here. So for that we will again drag gender to our filters, and here you can see we are only selecting filter on this visual. So we are not selecting filters on this page or filter on all pages. We are just doing filter on this visual, and here we will simply select male. And now we can give it a styling. Styling is very basic here. What you can do, go visual, and the title. First of all, on the title we will write male here. Title color will be this, because obviously we are going to change the background of it. I'm doing it quickly so that you can watch this video in a slow speed so that you can do it with me. And this, again we have to change this black color to something more readable, which we will do it here. You can also hide the category label. Category label is this thing over here, so you can hide it, and this way actually we select it. Now the last part is just to align the title in center. So this is how we created this visual for male. Similarly for female it is very simple. What we can do is we can copy this entire thing, paste it there, although we can copy all those very overall data also. And now I will copy here and paste. Image I will choose this image, and I will see the alignment later, but here what you have to do, in your filter you will choose only female. And now the final part, go to title and change it to female. So this is how these two visuals are created, and then we can display total. Again we can copy the entire thing here, and now we can send it backward. So now you can see it is coming over our image and data. So what we can do is go to format and send backward. Again click once again. So now we can see the values over here. Just we will delete this, and in insert you will find image. So I am using this image here because I was searching something quickly, I found this image. And now again I will remove the filter. So, and here I will simply change the title to total, and we can also write something like total number of employees. You can see whatever is fitting your card over here. Sorry. So this is how we have created these visuals. And so first of all, what I will do is I will try to resize it, because we have to fit our fourth visual also. I will click on this image and bring it to front. So similarly I will resize this visual. So I will pause the video and do it. It is a simple task that you can do. I will do it for all these three cards. So now you can see it is resized, and now I will simply copy and paste and create a fourth visual over here. And in this visual you can see we have displayed average distance from home in miles. So we guess this data is in miles because it is not clear what is the unit of distance here, average distance from home. So this is distance from home, so let's assume it's mile. Now for that we also have an image, so similarly we will use an image over here. By using this type of images, again I am using a very basic styling here, but you can spend a lot more time to make these visuals a lot more attractive. And here what we have to do, we have to display the average distance from home. So the column that we are going to use is, first of all, let's select cards from visual. That's what we are doing. In cards we can also copy it so that we don't have to style it again. And in this, count of gender is given, so we will remove it and we will simply search for distance. So we will put distance from home here, and currently you can see 14k, which is sum of distance. We don't want sum, we will choose average. And now we will simply change the title as, here I am writing average distance. So you can write whatever you want, and I will put it over this video. So this is how we have now completed the first row, and similarly we will complete other rows as well. So we have completed our first row, and now we have to complete our second row. In our second row we have two visuals, which is employee count by job level and educational field. So as you can see, employee count by job level, for this we have to count something, we have to count the number of employees. So in order to count number of employees, what we have done here is we have created a measure here. So formula for this measure is very simple. We have chosen num rows is equal to count rows HR analytics data, which is the name of this table. So this will simply create a new column for you, sorry, a new measure for you, which is num rows, and this is here. We can also do it with the help of an existing column which we discussed earlier. There is one column called employee count, and for every employee this is 1, which means if you will sum it, if you will use the sum aggregation, you will get the total number of employees. And when you will filter by anything, then you can get the filtered data. So now what we will do here is we will use a stat bar chart over here, and Again, the width of this bar chart I am putting as 2 columns with respect to upper 2 columns. And now here what we will do, we have y-axis and x-axis. So in one axis I will put job level, and in the other axis I will put sum of this count, sum of employee count. So here we have employee count, and as you can see it is reverse, so it is sum of job level versus employee count, but it should be reverse. So let's reverse this, and now you have this graph. Now in this graph, again in our case it is a horizontal bar, here it is a vertical bar. So here it is this stack column chart, here it is a stack bar chart. Doesn't make any difference, the data is same. And now you can simply style it. So styling is again the same. Go to effect, change the background as per your theme. Now you, as you can see, the text is not visible. So this is something that you have to do a lot, like in y-axis, in values, change the color. So this is a repetitive work that we have to do, but this is something that will make our visuals more attractive. So let's do that. Again, let's change the title color. So it is sum of employee count by job level. We can, once we have selected this, we can add more categorical data here. We can put some kind of legend over here. So for example, we can bring gender over here. So in legend, if you will bring gender, you can see when you will hover, this means at job level 2, gender male, the sum of employees is 314 and sum of employees is 222. And here you can see, so again its legends color, legends title and text should also be visible. So that's why here. So now this makes the data more interesting, more, it has more level of details. So this is how you can create a chart like this. Now as you can see in our original data set, we have a background color, and here the background color is white. So for that, click anywhere on the canvas and then click on your format your report page. This is basically a wallpaper. You can choose some image also. So suppose you are building a dashboard for some organization, so you can choose their logo or their company's image which represent something about that brand. But here we will choose a lighter shade. So this is how it can be done. Now we have this visual. This is a donut chart, and a donut chart is also very much similar to a bar chart. It simply displays in form of these percentage. So as you can see, 41.22% of employees are from life sciences educational field. So we are using a categorical column here for educational field. So let's select that, and again the other column will be nothing but sum of employee count. At this time we will use the num rows measure which we have already created, and this way you will see some tabular data. So whenever you will select those columns without any visual, by default you will see a tabular data, but now you can choose this, so it will automatically create this graph for you. This is another way of doing it. So you just select a categorical column, that means a dimension, and then you select a measure which is a metric. So hello everyone. Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial video of SlideScope. In this video we are learning about hello everyone, Welcome to another video of SlideScope. It is a Power BI tutorial for beginners, and in this video we are going to analyze JSON files in Power BI. So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, and an example JSON file looks like this. So in this JSON file you can see this JSON file starts with a square bracket. Square bracket simply represents an array, and inside square brackets we have these curly brackets. So from one curly bracket open to another curly bracket closed, between these lines we have an object, and we have several objects of the same with the same headers. So date, open, high, low, close, volume, and ADJ close, these are the headers. Suppose you have a table. We have some headers over here. As you can see in these headers, we have row ID, order date, ship date. So for every row, these headers will be the same. That is the concept. So that's why when you represent a structured data in a JSON format, you can see these headers are present everywhere. In every object, you will find these headers. All these objects here define a particular row of data, and this is how we structure the data in a JSON file. We have a dedicated video for JSON, understanding JSON. A link in the description will be given to understand that, but you can consider this JSON file as a value, as a name and value pair format, or a key and value pair format file. So here are certain syntax rules for JSON. Data is in name and value pairs, which you can already see. Data is separated by comma. That means after every object you will put a comma, and within every object also, after every element in the object we are putting a comma. So this is something that you do in JSON. Curly braces holds objects. So these curly braces represent one object. In our case, if we represent with our tabular data, so every object is like a row here, and every square bracket represents an array. Array is simply a collection of elements. So in this case, our array starts with a square bracket and ends with a square bracket, and in our array we have these objects. So now, in order to analyze this data and visualize this data in a tabular format, we can do it easily with the help of Power BI. So we will open our Power BI desktop application, and now let's start analyzing. First of all, loading this data in Power BI. This apple.json file is basically a file of stock data. So the date starts from, as you can see here, we have these dates. So for every date starting from 12/12/1980, for every date, every official working date, we have this information, and we will try to analyze starting from that date how the stock performed, how the value of this stock performed. So its open value is 107.77, and so on this date close value is 108.18. So we can either take one variable or both variables or multiple variables in one analysis. So we'll see how we can do that, and you will learn whether the stock value increased over time, decreased over time, what happened with the stock value, we'll see. So once you have Power BI open, click on Get Data. In Get Data, you will see JSON. If you are not able to see, just search JSON, which is JavaScript Object Notation. And here we have a clean AAPL file. I have cleaned it so that it can be directly loaded. And it will open this Power Query editor for you, and now you can see the same file in a tabular format. So that's why I said we perform data analysis on a structured data sets, and JSON file is also a structured data set. It is a way to store and transmit data. It is very lightweight format to do this. So you can see here date, open, high, low, close, volume, whatever headers we had in our object, in each object in the JSON file, those headers are automatically selected as headers, and the data inside those headers is in form of rows, and that's how we have all these rows. So now after doing all of this, we will just close and apply this. So when you will close and apply, Power BI will start reading the data, and now we have this AAPL clean table here, and inside that table we have all those columns. So the column which is a date column, you can see a date icon here, and all other columns are numerical columns. Some of them are whole numbers and some of them are decimal numbers. So you can see here, and now let's create a line chart to visualize this data. We are choosing a line chart because whenever there is a date column, the best way to analyze the data, how other variables performed as the date progressed. So you that the best way is to display using a line chart. So first of all, we will choose line chart. This is one way of doing it. Select a line chart, and after selecting a line chart, you will see this particular option here, x-axis and y-axis. So there is some column that you need to drag onto the x-axis. There is one column that you need to drag on the y-axis. Again, you can drag multiple columns also, but for simplicity, we will drag date on x-axis because this is an independent column for us. And on y-axis, we will choose close. Like what was the close value on that particular day. And now this is how you will see a line chart which simply represent on that particular date what was the value of sum of close. You can drag other columns, example high. Let's drag high in y-axis. Now you can see we have both sum and we have both sum of high and close, but these values are so close in terms of graph. Let me zoom it. So these values are so close that they are appearing like a same graph, but because there is very little difference in these values. For example, it is 107.77 and it is 108.44. So that's why you are seeing this. But if you will select all of these, let's select low, let's select open. So you will see a mix of colors here, which simply represent that. Uh, Now, with respect to dates on x-axis, we are seeing close, high, low, and open on the y-axis. And suppose you want to see only sum of low, you just choose this, and this is sum of low, how low perform. So this was a simple demonstration of how to connect a JSON dataset with Power BI and how to analyze it. After analyzing, you can save this or publish this to present. Hello everyone, welcome to another video of SlideScope. It is a Power BI tutorial for beginners, and in this video we are going to analyze JSON